What's going on, guys? So today on this Double October review, we're going to be taking a look at something new, mostly, to the HG-00 Awakening of the Trailblazer H line. Sorry, lost my train of thought there while I was reading Awakening of Trailblazer. And it is the final battle version of the Gundam ZABANYA. You know, Lock-On's quote-unquote last Gundam there. And, of course, here, you can't read it because, well, it's a P-BANDAI box, and they always just cover everything. You do have some, what I think, it's got to be the actual kit. Yeah, so that's an image of the actual kit, just kind of high contrasted and with special effects like beams and such blasting out of there. Looks pretty cool. Awakening of the Trailblazer logo there. Oh, did I? Oh, I just thought about it. Okay, so in the way that I'm filming these, when I made the thumbnail for Harut Final Battle, I don't think I put the Awakening of the Trailblazer logo. I need to do that. I'll go back and fix that. So, looking at it, of course, it is a P-Bandai box, all nice and color graded for green. And you got Gundam 00 there, and I'm sorry, once again, reading and then saying things at different times. So, I was reading HG Gundam 00, and then I was trying to say Bandai Spirits 2021. Guys, I just got back from vacation, and I'm trying to catch up on these last couple reviews. Once again, very nice. And of course, a green Bandai logo because they go monochromatic here. On the bottom, it says ZABANYA in big-ass letters. And you got the GN-010 Gundam ZABANYA Final Battle version. And come around here, you got BandaiHobby.net and all of the extra stuff going on there. All the things. Still can't read ZABANYA in that logo, though. And so ZABANYA in big letters again. And then it says, hey, keep your 3-year-olds away from sniper-style Gundams. Yeah, and then you got PSPE, that'll have a toilet, no yen cost on the boxes anymore, sadly. I kind of miss that. You know, it was actually pretty good, but from the P-Bandai website, I think it was somewhere like in the 30 range. Can't recall. I bought it well over a year ago. I think I got this. It came in last year after we had moved to the new place. So, you know, and it's from 2021 ultimately. So, and you got all the stuff here, and then plastic model plastic model kit ages 8 and up. Gotta slow down a little bit. But either way, final battle version of ZABANYA, but still upside down. And no artwork to attribute because it's not artwork, it's a picture of the thing. So, yay for that. Let's get to it. All right, guys, so here we have ZABANYA in its final battle mode, also known as Gundam the Fence, because, good God, just all the fence, just all of it, and including beard hair, or two, realistically. And ultimately, oh, there's another one. Good job, me. Well, now he's leaning funny. But either way, so this is ZABANYA Final Battle version. And one thing you'll notice if you've built this kit before or you've seen the previous review, there's not a giant difference between this one and his previous model. And now I realize I'm missing a light. No wonder it was so dark. It's like, why is it so dark? Yep, missing a whole light there. Now, something I did do ever so slightly different with this version, I used all the stickers instead of painting everything. So, realistically, there's no point in going over articulation and stuff. All I'm really going to show you is the differences between the original and this one. So, straight up, we'll zoom in on the head here. And there's the head, looking all cool and such. And you can see here we have a purple kind of sticker for the main like crystal thing. And if you push or you lift that up, I don't think you push it. Yeah, and you push it down, you can get the kind of targeting deal. So there's a sticker inside there, and this is all a sticker over, I believe, a translucent part. And if we want to see the difference here, there it is. The original one I did, that was all hand painted. So you can see the difference in the vents on the cheeks being painted and the crystal being painted purple, not to mention the safety nubs being removed. So pull that up, push this down, and I hand painted that green instead of using the gold one, you know. And, you see them side by side here. And just to point out the fact that I did use the same stickers here on the chest on the new one and on the original. And the one thing you'll notice between the two is that there's a definite shading happening. It's kind of inevitable to notice that he does cast his own shadows. So once again, I did use all of the stickers in the actual kit. That includes these green shoulder stickers here that cover up all of these white parts, both here and here along the side. And then there's also a gray sticker here. Trying to get it to focus on the shoulder edge there. So that is also a sticker. So that is a bit of a difference. So you can see here on the old one that I painted the gray. However, I did miss the fact that I did not paint this little section. I don't know why I missed that. But I did use green marker for the top of the shoulder, which is just I think it was just a Zaku green was the closest thing I had. It's not perfect, but I think it adds something to it. Now, looking back at it, I would definitely use a better green. But you can see the differences side by side here, if I can get it to focus. Yeah, you see the slight differences in that. Now, in coming down on the body, you can see not a whole lot going on here with the legs. There's just mostly green here, a lot of white here, and then down here in the vents on the ankles, you do get gray and black stickers. And then if you'll notice along here, it's all just white. Once again, comparing to the original. And the reason I say comparing to the original is I went by cover art and by the fully painted version to deck out the extra gray details. Like so. So one thing you can see is down here, you do have the gray inside the vents. You have smaller a bit here that has gray on it, along with here on the knee armor slash extra missile bit, and then a lot of gray here on the crotch skirt as well. I believe these outer bits right here probably also should have been gray, but it is what it is. But the whole outer edge of it is supposed to be like the base of it is meant to be gray, and they did not do that. Now, it was a bit of contention on whether or not this area here, once again, fence helping hold it up, that this area here should be gray or not. In fact, when I went to make the new one, I was not sure if it should be, so I left it alone. But once again, just to get a picture of it side by side. Okay, so pointing out just one more detail from the base model that's a little bit different between the two that I did. These areas here on the, I guess they're the shield bits, technically speaking, the actual fence parts. So this area along here is different, and I'll show why here in a second, but this is also meant to be gray inset here. And along here on the outside as well is all meant to be gray. I did a bad job panel lining there. Along with the tops here, also meant to be gray, because those are meant to be rifle bits, much like you get up here. And of course, we'll point out the obvious that we have extra ones up here. I'll talk about those here in a second. But those basically also are lacking a gray end of the thing. Well, let me show you compared to the original. So we can see the gray inside here along the outside edge here. And then, of course, the hard part to keep them balanced. Along the top edges where the rifle bits are meant to be stored, also Gray. Now, I don't believe those came as stickers in the original. I believe I just painted those, but if anything, they should have been stickers to just tap those edges. I could be wrong. I don't recall, but I don't believe those came with stickers. Now, one other thing I'll just point out, because it's something I did on all my originals, and that was painting the GN Vernier's gold. Now, this is my original gold, not the later red gold I would use. It was actually really, really, really amazing. Really amazing Gundam marker. And then I actually added a really good, I think this is actually chrome right there. It's unnecessary, but it's just something I did. But compared to the new one, which is once again just a straight build right out of the box, you get just the yellow ones like so. No big deal, truly. Now, let's talk about the extra kit in the room as it goes. You do get a whole new backpack for this guy with twin arms, much like the original 00 has. So it actually replaces this whole section here. You get 2 new polycaps, and you get these arms, which are very, very much straight out of a 00, like a proper 00 kit. And you even get pivot here, and if you're keen, you can unlock your rifle bit parts here, shield bit parts. I don't think this rotates. I could be wrong. It does have a big spinny bit there, but I don't believe that's meant to rotate anyway. And just for the record, this part does rotate. It was just kind of stuck. You know, it does move. So you can rotate the entire thing. It just feels really awkward when you do it. So just wanted to make sure I cleared that up. Would be cool if it does. And then once again, you can lock it in place like so. And you get some flexibility out of this, up and down. And then you can, I believe you could spin it here. Yeah, so you can turn it there as well. These are just repeats of these molds here, the unusable ones. So that's a big difference. Obviously, on the original, they don't exist. There's just nothing there. The only arms come off the original back fence, as you do. Now, for this demonstration, I'm going to leave the main chunk of the Gundam over there and do the same thing for the new guy, which is going to make it seriously off balance. So, oh well. Okay, so within the new one versus the old one, look, we're looking at the same thing. Obviously, color is exactly the same. The holes are all there so that you can mount them at any given point you want, but you'll notice at the top, you only have one gap in there, meaning you could only hold one rifle part, such as these. So these are the original rifles that came with it. You can fold the handle up, excuse the extra silver added on there. The only thing that kind of sucks is that you have to remove this front bit before you can put it in storage mode, and then you can just slip that in there and good to go. And you have this tiny little lip on the edge of it that not only hooks into the wrist slightly to help you hold it, but also gives you something to pull that out with. Now you can separate these as well, but they separate like this. So the original ones, you get 2, 2, and 1. So let's talk about what the new one does, which is ever so important. So you do get 1, 1, 1, and then these are 2 by itself. So you do get all new extra parts here. No big deal. And then if you go all the way back up to the front one, you do get the hero rifles as they are. And you will have a bunch of these twin tip things here. Now, unfortunately, you know, you do have to put up with the fact that it is a white sticker. That is a wraparound sticker around a translucent part, because that's always fun. But, you know, it is what it is. And he will hold those like you do. But, of course, the new change up here is not just that these separate, but they also have rifle bits. So these are not rifles he holds. These are rifles that just fly around and do cool stuff. So these are bits that are controlled by him and or Haro, or even Haro, because he does have two. Speaking of that, haha, you get an extra one. All in all, you get 6 full-on rifles, which is pretty cool. Not to mention the fact, of course, you get the original 2 that you can hold. Now, if we were to do some maths, I think if you wanted to have a full set of rifles and full set of individual shield bits slash rifle holsters slash whatever they technically are, you'd have to buy another one of these plus an original just to have enough, because otherwise you wouldn't have enough rifles. Because even if you bought another one of these, actually no, I think I'm wrong. No, I'm not doing the math right here, I don't think. Okay, so we got 3 originals. No, I'm correct. So you'd only have 3. So that wouldn't give you enough. So even if you had one more of these, you'd only gain 6 more rifles, even though you have 4 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 spots. I can't math today. You'd have 8 spots left for extra guns. Now, I don't know how many he's supposed to have, but I'm going to assume that many, if I'm honest with you. Also, I should probably get a picture of this just because it looks cool. So if I were to do some Googling... A few minutes later... Okay, so confirmed by the wiki, he should have 14 holster bits. That's what these are technically called, which are also compared to shield bits. I think he's meant to have 20 missile pod bits, which I don't think I ever covered the missile pods on the original review, and I didn't go back to check, so I will check that out. But he is meant to have 14 rifle slash pistol bits, which is something I also neglected to point out, is that these are in fact can come apart and just be pistols instead of just rifles. Now, mind you, only the original set here can do that. The old ones here can't. Oh wait, did I forget about the fact that this... Yes, I did. Okay. I knew I was forgetting something. So you also get the scope that slides up. Will you focus? For the love of God, just focus on something. There we go. And you do get a sticker. Or did I make that? No, I made that. Okay. Did I? There was one of them I made stickers for. Which one was it? Was it Harut? I don't know. So either way, you should get... you get those little scopes that pop up. So... and I don't believe these are just molded in. Yeah, these are just sandwiched together bits. There's nothing crazy going on there. But real quick, so because I don't think I ever covered it, let me just show off all of the missile pods, because I don't think I ever did this. And if you were to have this in an MG, it would 100% contain all these. Also, I don't believe I ever pulled these up. So this is actually a targeting thing, I believe. So let me figure out where that goes. Something like that. Feels like it's not sitting in the right spot. Hold on. Okay, so that, you pick that up. I painted that actually with some Mr. Color GX metallic brass, which actually was like a greenish color. The original one, as you'll see, is actually purple. I'll show it. So things I don't think I ever showed off, those, which I believe are used for extra targeting ability, along with the already open sight. I don't believe I can pull these off separately, but these are missile pods here on the arm, but I believe these are all just attached together. Yeah. So this is all one piece, but these are missile pods on both sides. The chest part right here, I can't get to it with a thumb. Hold on. So these are missile pods that can open up. Actually, I think, yeah, you can wedge those open. Look, where'd the other one go? There we go. So yeah, those can wedge open. So those are actually active. They're molded in place, so that's good. But then you get the front skirt here, which that's a missile pod. I think that's a missile pod. I believe even on the side here, those will be missile pods. Down here on the legs, because this is a separate piece, you can get this one open. and lay it flat. So that's a missile pod, but I guess if you want to do it, you can't do it that way. So you do that, you got a missile pod that's open. And not gonna lie, I don't know if this is also in the instructions or not, but that's that. These are missile pods too, but you can't open them or anything. They're just kind of plugged in here, but these would be caps for the missile pods. Even these things back here are also missile pods that can flip open, which is insane. Like, this thing is just literally armed to the teeth. I believe it even has some on the butt, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I think even some on the back skirt as well, but these ones on the heels are crazy. And when it said there was 4 additional missile pods for this version, but I have no idea. I don't see a comparison to know what the original ones are. So I guess the only spot that I did not properly use stickers was there, which once again I will show off because I don't think I ever did. I really don't, now that I'm thinking about it. Oh, didn't even use them here. Shit, okay. I used, those are supposed to be a purple, I believe a purple round sticker, I think. But either way, I used a metallic green marker for that one. So fairly similar, but different in and of itself. So this is one that would be an insanely intricate MG, if I'm honest here. Why won't that go in its place? Come on, go down. There we go. So I was originally thinking that I would combine the new one with my original one that's still partially painted. And I think I might still go with that. Just for getting, more of these. I would also add the proper paint to those just for the heck of it. Also, and or things, it does come with this little piece here, which is made to be used with the Cheridom's like shield bit system. I believe this is meant to plug in on that, and I'm going to see if I can figure out exactly what to do with this, because the instructions, well, they tell me what to do, doesn't mean I paid attention, if we're honest here. But I believe it is meant to arrange for a shield, a combo shield like this. I think this is what it's meant for. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's what the instructions showed, was these 2 things. Oh, wait, that won't work that way. Oh, you have to have an opposite. Okay, sorry. You can't do it the same side, you gotta do it the opposite side. And by the way, oh, well, that had some legs on it. All right, so if you take the opposite side one and plug them together, you can get the arrangement of how it will do the shields. So why they only gave you 1 of these instead of 7, I guess, I have no idea. Because if you really wanted to recreate that scene where he's doing like the ridiculous shooting, but the shields are all blocking as well, and I guess this is meant to be a vertical block like this. So he's like, boop, So if you really wanted to have that whole ridiculous shooting scene, that would be the only way to do it, is if you had way more of these. But because they're P-BANDAI, they didn't think that far ahead, I guess. Also, there's something you can do with the rifle bits. Though this is going to probably take me a second to figure out where the proper parts are. I'll be back in a minute. A few minutes later. Okay, so took me a minute. Found exactly what I needed in one very small box of parts I had left over. So if you have one of the small action bases, ignore the fact that this is the wrong one, and you have one of these square tab segments like this that I'm sure every one of you has saved in the past, because you never threw away any of your spare bits from your action bases, right? Right. And I believe they're only meant for these small action bases. But what you can do is, if you take your just the rifle bit by itself, and that will slip on right there, and then you can have a floaty abouty rifle bit. And if you happen to have 6 of these on hand, preferably in a translucent, you'd be good too. Once again, something that Bandai could have included, considering this was a P-BANDAI kit. But, why would they bother? Oh, oops, sorry about that. Now, what would be excellent on top of all of this is if they also gave you all of the shield bits and stuff like that, all of the missile bits that would open up, just to have one ridiculous display, say on the clear piping that they'll use for things, And then, even though I didn't show it, he can, of course, hold his rifles. As I struggle to actually get him to hold the rifle, it's kind of funny. So, you can do that. And then he'll fall over because, of course, he will. Guys, never underestimate how much crap they throw on these. And how much it will just fall the F over. Okay, sitting there trying to fight the rifle bit in the back of the hand. Don't do that. Okay, so there we go. All right, so as I wrap this up, I do want to bring in all of the, Gundams from the movie, realistically, or at least the final Gundams of the movie. So there's Quanta, way over here, falling apart, is Raphael, which is not going to stand, I'll tell you that right now. Oh, maybe I can get it to balance. Its feet are just going to go out from under it. Of course. I'm trying to balance it on its guns. I doubt I'll get there. Okay, so there's Raphael. Good lord. And of course, last and certainly not least, but definitely tallest, is Harut. So my movie Gundams are technically complete. Actually, let's put Quanta up front. Let's make it like more like a movie poster. Even though this is a ZABANYA review, we're doing this. So there we go. So I feel like it's complete now. So I think the only other thing, other than suits we've never gotten, there's stuff from the movie we've never gotten, such as the GN flag, the couple of the other things, the mobile armor from earlier in the movie, that the innovators, the quote unquote innovator, the previous one is piloting. We've never gotten that either. We've never gotten any official versions of the in a true form like this. We've never gotten a version of any of the L's mobile suit / dolls. So I think the only other thing we would want is a Raphael with a fully transformable Cerevi 2. I think that would be cool. Also, Raphael Dominions would also not go amiss in a P-BANDAI thing. There's a Raphael Dominions, and then there was the other ones. There's two different versions of Raphael that come with Cerevi 2s, like as mobile dolls almost, which would be awesome. So there we go. There's all our Awakening of the Trailblazer guys, basically, as they go, even though Raphael was gone by the end of the movie, especially by the final battle. Unfortunately, I actually like the Raphael, so sad to see it gone. But of course, Setsuna needed the power up for his Quanta. He needed the extra Veda connection, extra processing power, as it were. But either way, guys. So that's going to be it for this HG ZABANYA review, even though it's back there in the corner. And I will see you guys on the next one. We are coming close to the end as it goes. Double October's almost over, guys, but we'll get there. So I'll see you next time. Also, if you do want to share any of your builds and or collections, you can do so in the Discord link down below. The merch, I still haven't fixed that thing, but I will have merch up available eventually for Saigono Double October. And yeah, I'll see you guys then. Remember, as always, keep on building. Also, if just for shiggles, we wanted to make your Gundam defense even greater, you can, well, add them all down below. So you get 7 per side, and then just kind of ignore the top. But I believe for balance reasons, that's why they didn't go for that. And if you're feeling kind of ridiculous, you could technically make them one long line, if you wanted to, but obviously your holes are not going to line up like on here, but they can technically clip together. But not to be completely outdone by my previous attempt, here is the ultimate Gundam the Fence. Yeah. Oh, it's absolutely absurd. 24 rifle bits and shield bits. That would be absurd. Look, you know I had to do it too, right?